You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience. The hand must be quicker than the eye. During a life cycle, the enemy may strike from many different angles at any given time. When living in the face of such imminent danger, a human mind should be conditioned where all its five senses and reflexes have sharpened enough to nearly outmaneuver one's own shadow. Often, the enemy is within, and so goes the story of how glory was won. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Stimulus Dimension. Today's topic is Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. Perhaps the most cunning, calculated specimen on this green earth is that of the human being. Why do we lie, cheat, or steal? Why is murder usually the last resort of reaching an agreement when two parties disagree egregiously? Due to the fact that we are hostile by nature, those that cannot establish dominance seek what is called acceptance. Though Rome has fallen, never to regain the prominence it once had, arenas throughout the globe persist under the guise of urban ghetto or suburbia. These coliseums, so to speak, breed corporate and street gladiators that set the stage for a showcase in brutality of every kind. When one warrior gains advantage over the other, the conclusion is usually death to the less fortunate contender. He who is left standing ultimately looks to the crowd for feedback. Suddenly, the planet lost orbit and fell off its axis. The crowd is silent. Faces are expressionless. No one cheered. No feast was thrown in honor of the victor. Should this fighter leave the arena feeling dishonored? Let us rewind to the word feedback. The definition of feedback is information about reactions to a product or a person's performance of a task which is used as a basis for improvement. Do you need to be fed? Only the malnourished need feeding. It is the ego, a void in the soul, or an insecurity that lacks nourishment. What is it? Silence? As I speak, no one cheers. The majority of actions by some people are for consensus purposes. Who are you? Do you really know who you are? Or are you producing what is expected by the in crowd, the clique, or the established order? Those who change the world are usually considered outcasts at some point or another. The million-dollar question is, will you feel as if you have no merit without a stamp of approval from the status quo? And still I hear no applause. Just the echoing of my own voice. Have you ever observed behavior of a bird flock? They form sizable groups for the purposes of gathering food and shelter. After all resources have been depleted, this collective relocates to areas where pickings are more plentiful, then eventually migrates south to once again escape a changeable environment. Take notice of the fickle and transient nature of these creatures. With this phenomenon, there always seems to be at least one or a minute few birds left behind, perched up in the same spot that the majority abandoned. Such is true to life. True friends stand the test of time. Cohorts simply feed off one another. If whoever or whatever is no longer useful, discarded. Will you still hear your wings striding against wind towards your cause once the flock has gone? Or shall you perish because you refuse to hunt when most were not there to provide support? Why isn't anybody clapping? Extra, extra, read all about it. Experience being carbon copied. This is strikingly similar to that of your everyday newspaper. Information it carries is 99% false and 1% truth. Nevertheless, regardless of how outrageous or logic-defying a headline may be, the public feeds into it and subsequently passes judgment toward the subject of the misinformation. The lie is cultivated with the reading of each untruth from person to person until becoming fully grown, taking on a life of its own. Widespread misleading has been a kiss of death to many reputations, all in the name of being in the know. Have you been carbon copied? Does popular opinion construct your life story in order to avoid feeling left out? Or will you utilize your cerebral power to its maximum capability, lifting all questionable words from the paper and rearrange each letter to spell your own beliefs and truth? Eventually, your entire story will read the way you want it to, having a conclusion of your liking as well. Followers follow, leaders lead. Choose between these two vehicles and hop aboard. What is it that I hear? Crickets chirping. Without a single cheer from the crowd. We have now reached the point of no return. Here's where our training becomes more intense. Our speed of foot, hand-to-eye coordination, and counter-striking is impeccable, while evading left-right combinations of criticism or indifference of others. The task set before us now is walking the thin line between love and hate without losing balance. Focus. Mastery of self-love is the secret to beating this particular obstacle course. Concentrate. Where you want to be and where you are depends on yourself. This pertains to any aspect of life, whether it be educational, occupational, or personal. We do not need the guiding hand of other people to reach feelings of wholeness or live out our dreams. Peace of mind derives from within oneself. Do not misconstrue the love of self with conceit, because they are complete opposites. Conceited people are in actuality insecure. Therefore, they give off the illusion of being assured while simultaneously minimizing another's worth to secretly fill in whatever is empty in their personality. True self-love is not nefarious in nature. A person of this virtue respects others, but in the same token will not resort to a matter of life or death thinking if someone else is not dependable or meeting certain needs and criteria. A virtuous person is self-reliant, weathering any storm with or without backup. Let us travel along this newly discovered mental plane, while glancing over the shoulder towards bodies left scattered over the canvas in the aftermath of every battle. The most formidable opponents have ranged from our feelings of ineptitude to the gravitational pull of peer pressure. Suddenly, shouts of adoration. Shouts of adoration ring loudly through your own psyche. Hear the turning of the tide as the cheers seem endless from your mind's audience. The only crowd that counts, I might add. Undisputed heavyweight champion. I feel myself getting stronger. you've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.
London's Enterprise presents Christian TV Celebrities. TV and YouTube celebrities meet and event. If you'd like to be a part or be spotlighted at this event, call 248-701-0885 or 419-245-4979. London's Enterprise presents Christian TV Celebrities. TV and YouTube celebrities meet and greet event. If you'd like to be a part or be spotlighted at this event, call 248-701-0885 or 419-245-4979.